Hi, welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing in this now moment with myself and with one another. If you have not seen these videos before, welcome. Welcome back if you have. My intention is unity and oneness, the highest levels of love light. I'm just going to go into a little flow. I've done a couple videos recently, one on empaths, one just talking about how we can unplug from what's going on around us and plug back into our own creations. And we'll kind of see where this goes. Probably a little light language and a little toning. So taking a nice deep breath in and a long exhale. Some of these videos are just meant to be felt, not necessarily understood. Although much of what I've been sharing is coming through very strongly in a very earth frequency to get us to ground and anchor and to kind of get us from being so scattered. Just another perspective I wanted to share. Estek ua. Wana at esteak uanati kuya nau ku ste ne te kuana unuk uawahena. Kia e awa na ki este awa kukuena, titi na awa kukuet este kiena. Ke te awa kukuet este te amakua wana. Kia este awa ho te akuet eneste uak uwa heinet e kuana uste. Many of us feel earthbound, stuck, so to speak, in the bodies that we possess, in the skin suits that we must turn and twist and change and morph and mold. We are feeling bound by our nature, it may seem at times. However, we are being invited to nurture our bodies, nurture that which we are. For we are not some body here stuck on planet Earth. We are a light lit up from within, a light filling up the skin in which we sit within, in which we communicate through that which we are bound in, we have chosen to bind ourselves to. Yet we must recognize that we are here now in this time to renew thoughts, processes, expressions. We are much bigger than we have tapped into. We are being invited to renew our concepts of who and what we are. We are being invited to renew, to check out of the old and to check out the new, to check into the new, to recognize that the light that shines through our eyes, the light that we see shining in others' eyes, for us to recognize that we are home. Earth is our home. Yet while we exist on many different parallel realities, planetary frequencies, this ability to tap into multidimensionality exists within all of us. Yet we are being invited in this now moment to stay close to home, to connect in with our heart, to connect in with all of the technology that we have at our hands, in our energy. For we are the masters embodied, the masters of time, light, healing, architecture, sound, frequency, color. Language. Do not limit what it is that you seek to seek. For when you seek to the expansiveness that you are and bring it home, you allow yourself to recognize that you are home, that you have all that you need as a creative being, as a creator being. For you do create that which you exist within, whether you recognize it, whether you consciously make the creations or not. You are still creating. So open to that which you are holding within you. For in that way, your creative expression can open the way, can lead the way for others, can open the way. I'm hearing that expression. It's in the Bible, but I'm all over it right now. So, the words of the ancestors speak through this linguistic display of energy frequency in a different way than what many are used to expressing into and experiencing in. Yet within, many feel a kindling, if you will, a remembrance of more than just the 1, 2, or 3 languages that one may be accustomed to hearing in their frequency, to understanding at a cellular memory. For you all hold banks within you, memory banks, value systems. And this has been utilized in many different ways over the course of, I'm seeing like centuries, eons. Yet it has also been exploited in many different ways. We invite you to step out of all of that, to step into no time. So that's always a play on words for me. It's no, K-N-O-W, no time, like no time. They're just step into 0 point neutrality. And from that space, create and recognize that you are the creation that others seek to control, that others seek to pull from. For you have an endless supply of energy resourced from within you through the source, through as the prime source, the creators that you are. And this is where your value lays. If you go within to your, I'm hearing the dynamo heart. This is your superconductor. This is your super combator. This is your supra concurrent, I'm hearing concert hall, coherence, symphony that then dictates to your world around you what will reflect back to you. For you have been many things. You have been many beings. You have been many extensions of the many things. In the one thing, I'm hearing the one ring to rule them all. Like the one. You are here now to erase doubt. You are here now to be all that you are. You are divine creators, capable of infinite possibilities. Allow the doubts, the layers that you have, I'm seeing blanketed yourself with, to fall away, to dissolve. Allow the cords that you have perceived, that you have bound yourself to, or that have perceived to have bound to you, to integrate, to fall away, adjust your frequency so that those may not attach to you any longer. Taking in your sovereignty, so that all that is unsovereign and not free will show itself and no longer be in a place of spell-weaving capability. For you are the creators here on earth now to cast away those spells that are spelling out doubt, for they no longer hold the truth that you seek to explore, expand in. The truth that you seek to create is a higher frequency beyond the debate, the debacle, the older time-bound frequencies of realities that no longer frequent your heart space. No longer are they held as dear and true to you, near and true to you. They feel tying down, I'm hearing like people are trying to still fit into these shoes that don't fit them anymore, and pay attention to what makes our heart sing. And those energies feel sticky. It just doesn't sing the same song for us anymore. So pay attention to that and quit feeding into that. For it is all, I'm hearing it's all a scam. This is the play on words. Not all of it, but the old stuff. It's like, it's a spell. We get it. We've been there, done that. Let's create something new. And it used to be that we were creating from these lower energy centers or bound up energy centers, and we haven't quite gotten and connected into that heart. And I'm seeing just like it all works together. It isn't just about willpower. It isn't just about the sacred feminine and masculine, although that's important to connect and balance those. It isn't just about the head and thinking in the mind. It isn't just about speaking our truth. It's about funneling and channeling all of that through the heart. Is it in my highest and greatest expression of love? Is any of this in the highest and greatest expression of love, which is what I came here to express? And while many have played within the dim and dark fields of depression, dark angst and anxiety, doubt and fear, regret, envy, jealousy, these lower spectrums, they have allowed us to unfold and to integrate, to let go of the stories that we have been told that we are those things. For those are merely emotions, feelings that are meant to be what they are in the moment, so that we can expound. There's a lot of plays on words here. Express, I'm just seeing like move through those and then use those as usable and digestible energy. They are not meant to always be what we are, for we are no longer what we were. And what we are now is different than what we were thinking we would become. For we are becoming more of that which we, I'm seeing, may not have been able to see at an older version of us. We're on a different platform. I'm hearing like it's like somebody waking up and all of a sudden they're able to speak Spanish and they've never spoken Spanish before. Like that could happen. For those of you learning to speak as if you are speaking for the first time, recognize that this can come from this, I just see this beautiful jewel in the heart, and utilizing it as a resource to just bounce things through and off of, and to feel into it as the words come through the vocal cords. Allow the heartstrings to play through and the chords to play. I'm seeing them sync up, like when you're in a band and you're tuning an instrument, the instruments must take a little practice to tune with each other. So using the heartstrings and the chords and the vocals to tune up and tune in, so that when we speak, we are speaking from a more expansive place rather than the old, I'm hearing speech impairments. And I'm seeing that as we pair up, it's a play on words, like meanings that were paired up with other things. So you say one thing and it links to something that isn't necessarily what we're trying to pull in. So if we can use our heart before we say out loud what it is that we're really talking about, then the truth behind the words comes through. And I'm seeing that many of us are feeling that the words start to become a little uncomfortable, because all of a sudden these two are tuning out and tuning up what doesn't match up. So I'm just being guided to share that that could be a little uncomfortable at times for certain people, a little awkward, but it's okay, because that's part of I'm hearing the growing curve, the learning curve, the growing pains. Like it can feel awkward and off, but it's okay, because that's part of what we're doing. We're graduating. So what we might have said and used in high school no longer applies when we're in college, right? Or even back, I'm just using those as examples. Many restrictions that we have placed upon ourselves and our abilities have been and are being removed. And we seek to invite you to recognize that from a higher perspective, they were never there at all. Yet, from a multidimensional viewpoint, and stepping back into a lower density perspective, these were placed upon us to make us feel as if we were not capable of accessing our own abilities, thus giving our power to another form of discord or disharmony that made us feel as if we needed this other outside source to give us back the power that was taken from us. This was a reality that we have bought into. And for many generations, we have fed into this belief system. Therefore, certain imbalances have been created. Projections have been fed into to create platforms in which matrix reality constructs have been built upon. These layers and layers of blankets that we have blanketed ourselves with, veils, are peeling back, crumbling, falling apart, disintegrating, dissolving. And the more we invite in our true attunement, our true heart construction deconstructs the old, reattunes us, tunes us into the new, and allows us to look back in life review now. Oh, that was big for me, so I'm just maybe do another video on that. I've written about this a few times. I haven't updated my writings yet. As we look back and review to what it is we had bought into, it no longer holds power in the same way that we had been giving it to. It no longer holds power over our belief, our view, our system, our brain stem, our body system, for our accountability is now within us as we hold ourselves accountable for that which we truly are. We create within us our ability to create more value within ourselves, recognizing that we are the power. We are the power holders, the key holders. This then dissolves the perceived barriers that we have been attached to or that have attached to us in order to siphon the energy in this, I'm seeing it as a system like a black hole. For this no longer works in compatibility with true coherency, with true consistency, and interweaving frequency of expanded awareness. For our hypersensitivity that we are, and I'm also seeing hyperspeed, like our new availability in time, our hyper heightened senses, do not allow that to exist within our framework. We are seeing beyond, scaling above the walls that were created from, I'm just seeing them as like being so old that we're just like, what? This is, let's just, no thank you, we're done with that. This allows us to connect in with more communication aspects. So I'm seeing this as a lot of the extrasensory abilities, again, reminder, coming online. For we no longer feel that we have to connect to this other entity, person, place, or thing to spew back to us the information that we have been guided to direct our attention and awareness to. So it's like this feeding circle. We didn't feel we were powerful enough, so we had to give our permission to this other entity that made us feel like we were less powerful because of fear. And all of that is like so obvious to so many. This creates a wave I'm hearing a wave particle resistance. A shaking, if you will. It shakes up not only our reality and our awareness, it shakes up our bodies. I'm seeing it like, so I used to work for a dentist, and it's like a Sonicare toothbrush, right? We used to have this thing, we called it the jiggler, and it was some type of Sonicare cleaning system where essentially it vibrates all of the stuff that's stuck to it off. So I'm seeing like we're creating this space, and we're going to start literally, some of us might feel like we're shaking. Everything is shaking. Like it's like when some power builds up and the dirt all falls off of it so it can come up and then expand. So there's this quaking going on, and it's literally the stuff that would stick to us can't stick because we're vibrating literally at such a higher rate that the stuff that wants to stick to us can't. So that's cool. This may feel very off kilter for some, because this vibrational frequency is not a match necessarily to where they had been residing at before. And I'm seeing like it's home base. It was like a thermometer. We're used to being at this thermometer. Things happen and we come up to this thermometer and it feels really uncomfortable. So sometimes we want to get back down to this temperature, but realistically, that's not the way things are. And that's not how evolution works. Otherwise, we would stay at the same place and never move, never change, never experience, and never create anything new. So part of this is about creating a new way of being, a new reality, and what I'm hearing is every corner of reality at this point is being shaken up because of this ripple effect. As this quaking, as this shaking happens, it allows that to fall off that cannot, this is a play on words, sink into the new view. And I'm seeing this as reference to like syncing up like a computer. Like I'm hearing this does not compute, like it doesn't compute. Oh, okay, I'm being guided to share this movie. So I just watched this movie. Ooh, I can't remember what it's called. Archive. So there's a movie called Archive. It's a little bit about artificial intelligence. But what happens is, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, it's okay. From my perspective, it's pretty good. If artificial intelligence doesn't freak you out, and by the way, that's a whole other video I'd love to go into. But this man, spoiler alert, if you're going to watch it, don't listen to the next 2 minutes. He creates a robot, and he's these different versions of his wife. Like his wife's consciousness goes into these artificial intelligences. And what happens is there's one that it can't get past the mind of let's say a 3 to 5 year old. The other one gets stuck at 15 years old. And they're sad because they can't get above they want to go higher, but because of their programming, they can't. And I'm seeing this as so symbolic with many people, that part of what this resistance that people are feeling is because they want to go higher, they want to expand, but the belief structures and the systems that they've been feeding into and giving their power away to for so long is keeping them dummied down. But it's not natural to feel that way. So that's why all of the foods and all of the programming, right, all of the stuff that's put into our system assists in dumbing us down, so we won't get to that point where we want to expand. But a lot of people are like, they're starting to clean up their diets, they're starting to unplug from certain things, and they're starting to remember, hey, I don't want to be 15 anymore. I could get to, and I'm using age as a linear concept, but you know, like just when you know that if you're around kids, they always want to be grown up. You know, they're a kid, and we look back and go, oh, I want to be a kid again. But realistically, it's growing pains a little bit. And this is a systematic approach that many of us are starting to recognize that it's our system. It's part of how things work. So stepping out of an old system and into a new system, but from a free-flowing approach. So it's not just a linear, I'm hearing like it's not just a system, like it's bigger than all of that. So we invite you to grow into this expansive consciousness with a reverence of your fellow human, man, woman, child, animal, and galactic brothers and sisters that are all harmonizing to this new convergence of energies, technologies, frequencies. For within your skin suit, you have access to all of this. And within your consciousness, you have access to the all, the one, the knowing that you are more than what you have been told, are being taught. And you are now walking and stepping up to be the teachers, the leaders, and utilizing a higher mechanism of growth, a higher, I kept having reference to mechanization. So I'm also seeing that, lots of energies coming in right now. So let me just go back to. So as you step into a higher expansion, a higher expression, you demand more of that higher expression. So I'm hearing that as a reference to supply and demand. Like so much has been based off of supply and demand. So more people want meat, we get more meat. More people want sugar, more people want it because they become addicted to it or because it becomes a habit and a program. So we are shifting and being invited to shift that supply and demand need to other things. And that includes trees and fresh air and clean water and clean foods and kindness to all living kind. No matter what color, what sex, what age, it doesn't matter, because we are all going through this experience in our own way, in our own on our own creative mission. And so it's coming back to that harmony that we are evolving into, or re-evolving into as a species, but also mostly as an individual expression, and recognizing that this is something we are all working towards, possibly. That doesn't mean that everybody will embrace that. So the more of us that do embrace creative expression in love and light, the more demand will be placed on those that do not to step it up, to change. And I'm hearing like step up or step out. So they're going to be flushed, essentially. And so we're working on getting to that higher space of supply and demand. This will supply us with a higher sense of well-being, a higher sense of, so I'm seeing it working together to we're increasing that vibration, and then that pulls to us the vibrational match in conversation topics, in political, in all arenas. It's a direct reflection of our own demand, And I'm literally seeing people stand up and just saying, no, I will not stand for you mistreating this person. And we need to speak up for our elderly. And, you know, men and women are equal. And what happens when our blue brothers and sisters show up? If we can't even honor the colors that we are expressing here on earth, which is merely I'm hearing a tonality and pigmentation of our skin suits. It's like, this is our technology that we were all birthed with. So how can we be mad or disgrace someone else? And that's a big word right now, is having grace, showing up with grace, who was birthed in a skin suit of technology that still is held and has the same capacity as yours. Bones, blood, eyes, ears, nose, like all of it, the pigment is merely an expression of uniqueness and individuality, just like eye color, just like sizes of your ears, just like the fingerprints that each individual unique expression holds. All of this is so that we could be diverse, because the more diverse we are, the more things we are able to express as a creative creator, because that's what we are. So let us create a unification of love and light and expression and oneness of the beauty and wonder in all things. For now, I'm going to kind of sign off on that because I could just keep going. In love and light. Namaste.